All right, probably my third favorite chapter of the book. They meet. The following week, Amy found herself in Washington, D.C. She was not as nervous as last time, but still anxious. She had all her notes and research ready and was going through the Capitol building for a meeting. Suddenly, a door bursts open. I know, it's such a cliche. Bursts open in front of her, and a man steps out shouting, God, oh, explicit. If you are bothered by explicit words, please fast forward or skip this part because Ainsley cusses. He's Scottish and he's pissed. God damn bloody stupid bastards! And slams directly into Amy, knocking her to the floor and spilling her papers all over. Oh my God, he says as he kneels by her side, touching her on the shoulder. Are you hurt? I'm sorry, he's asked her with a Scottish accent. Amy laughs it off. I'm fine, she says, trying to ease the man. He takes her by her elbow and helps her to her feet and begins collecting her papers. Oh, miss, I can't do a Scottish accent. You're just going to have to use your imagination. Oh, miss, if I can, I'll try. I'm sorry, he said again. It's okay, she says. You seem pretty upset about something. Maybe I should ask you if you're okay. Yeah, well, these people here are so. I'm sorry. You work here, and I shouldn't say anything bad. Amy cut him off. I do not work here. I'm here for a meeting, she told him. Oh, that's good. You seem too smart to work here, he said, trying to lighten his tone. I'm Amy Bryant, she said, reaching out her hand. Amy Bryant. Why does that name sound familiar to me? He asked. Well, I've been in the news. I was on the pipeline project. Maybe that's where you've heard of me, she said, trying not to sound like she was bragging. You're that Amy Bryant? He said, exacerbated. Oh my God. And here I throw you on the floor, he said, putting his arms over his head in embarrassment. Amy was laughing now. It's okay. I'm perfectly fine. Do you have a name? I'm an idiot, he said, taking a breath. My name is Ainsley Wallace. He reached out and shook her hand. Nice to meet you, Ainsley, she smiled. My meeting isn't for an hour. I was going to wait on a bench, but I'd like it if you would have a cup of coffee with me and tell me what has you so upset, she heard herself saying out loud. Hey, mouth. Check with Brain next time before you say something like that, she thought. But she just invited him to have a cup of coffee. This man, she never, yeah. No. They made their way to the coffee shop, and he began to tell her about his work in the Arctic. He went on to tell her about the terrible things he had seen while working up there, and she told him about Mara's experience with the albatross chicks. Before they knew it, 45 minutes had passed, and she had to get going. I'd love to talk more about this with you, he said nervously. Um, could we meet again after your meeting? I'd like that, she said. He gave her his card and asked her to call him after the meeting. She left smiling to herself. The meeting went as well as could be expected. They gave her the same runaround that they give everyone who asks about what's being done with the plastic problem. We're working with agencies to help correct the problem. Sometimes the solution is worse than the problem itself. Blah, blah, blah. Amy casually reminded them that she is not like everyone else and that they should know that the runaround would not appease her. She then informed them that she would press the issue and do whatever it took to see that real and effective change would happen, which was her mission. She loved watching them sweat and squirm nervously. This was shaping up to be a good day. She met Ainsley at a restaurant near the Capitol building, where she discovered that he was Dr. Ainsley. She wondered if he was staying nearby or if he waited for her meeting to end. She didn't ask. She told him about what the group was working on. He was extremely interested. I want to help, he said excitedly. Tell me what I can do to help. Ainsley, she said, taking his hands. This is going to be dangerous. Sometimes people who join me on my missions get hurt, or worse, she said, looking down sadly. She liked him. She could sense that he liked her too. She didn't want to drag him into her crazy world. You look here, lass, he said, using his most robust Scottish accent. I've spent the last 5 years working in the Arctic Ocean. I almost drowned last year when I got knocked unconscious while trying to cut a plastic fishing net off an angry sperm whale. Having fun with this accent. If you think that I'm a man who worries about his safety, well, you've got me all wrong. She couldn't help but smile. My office is in New York. You're not from here. I just don't see how. He cut her off. He got serious. I like you, and I hope you feel the same way about me. But this has nothing to do with that. This problem is big. It's bigger than us. I want to help. I've seen what you can do when you set your mind to something. I want to see this problem end. I think you're going to make that happen, or at least make some real progress. I want to help. Amy, please let me help you. She smiled. I'm here in DC until Wednesday, and then I'm going back to New York. I guess we can figure it out, she agreed. I guess we will, he added. The group had planned to meet in Amy's office on Thursday to discuss her time in DC. Bob brought Nick along in case he had anything to add that might help them. Ben, Mara, Bob, and Nick wait in Amy's office for her to arrive. It's so odd for her to keep us waiting. She's usually here waiting for us, Mara said. They all looked concerned. Finally, Amy entered, and they all began to ask her if she was all right and what had happened that had kept her for so long. She put her hand up to indicate that they should all stop. Since you all like to keep secrets from me, I figured it was my turn. I would like you all to meet someone. She opened the door and ushered in Dr. Wallace. Everyone, this is Dr. Ansley Wallace. We met in Washington. He's going to help on the project, she said, letting them know that this was not up for discussion. Ainsley entered and kissed her on the cheek. It's a pleasure, he said in a charming Scottish accent. They all just stared with their mouths open in shock. Ainsley smirked at Amy, who smirked back. You were right, he whispered in her ear. All right, so the next chapter is Bob's show. It's going to be Bob's first show after they started working on the plastic issue. Now, this is where they're going to blow up this information to the public. And so I'm going to edit and post these videos, get them downloaded, and then we'll start Bob Chapter 8, the Bob Roth Show. No white squirrel right now.